Welcome in to 6 in the morning at 4:30. I'm MaKayla Glenn in for Tesmani.
Alan Crow, good morning. Good morning, MaKayla.
Good morning, Alan. It's pretty cold. We've got some chilly weather over the weekend. Some Okmulgee teachers say they're upset after thieves broke into their cars and stole their purses at a back-to-school event. The damage here is catastrophic. Take a look at this brick that I'm holding that's come from on top of this building here. Now, if you can follow me. Good morning. People have already started lining up for the first day of school here at Barnesdall Public Schools. And check this out. I've met some friends here this morning. I have Addie, Allie, Hunter, and Lainey. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Kit Kat, absolutely.
Kit Kat.
How about yours?
I like Snickers.
Okay, well, we had both of those.
Okay.
All right.
Thousands of folks across Tulsa were out shopping on Black Friday. Take a look at this video from our drone. It was a busy start to the holiday shopping season. It's that time of year when people start to head out to our local rivers to kayak, and that's why camp officials reached out for help to locate as many of these as possible. Jonathan and Tatum, some of the most expensive items I found were the ham, some eggs, and chocolates. Also ran into a mother of 6 doing some Easter shopping as well.
Oklahoma's own 6 in the morning.
An Oklahoma lawmaker filed a new bill aimed at addressing the use of artificial intelligence in sexual photos and videos. Craig and Tatum, the women of the 688 Central Postal Directory Battalion, took on a job others failed to do by making sure months' worth of mail got delivered to American troops. An Oklahoma woman's family says they're proud to know their aunt was a part of this piece of history.
They did not send us because they thought we could do it. We are here because they are sure we cannot.
Actor and filmmaker Tyler Perry's latest movie, The 688, sheds light on the only battalion of all-black women stationed in Europe during World War II.
At that time, when she was telling us about it, I couldn't even imagine.
Donetta Stark's aunt was one of the 855 women sent to Europe with the task of delivering a backlog of nearly 17 million pieces of mail to U.S. soldiers and their families. They were a part of the 688 Central Postal Directory Battalion.
And I watched the movie. I said, oh, that's what Aunt Allie was in.
Sergeant Allie Williams, or Aunt Allie, as Donetta called her, had a joyous, energetic, and adventurous personality, and an even bigger heart.
She just went about doing things for the people in her community, and it seemed that, you know, most of the people in the small town of Colbert, Oklahoma, loved her.
The Colbert native often shared stories with her family about her military experience. But Donetta tells me it wasn't until the movie was released that she realized her aunt was a part of something big.
Even though I had heard her story about them sorting the mail and all of this, I really didn't think too much about it at the time.
17 women in this battalion were from Oklahoma. The women endured a dangerous trip across rough seas, worked long shifts in rat-infested warehouses, and faced both racism and sexism in a war zone.
They had to be very strong, determined women to go through what they had to go through.
When there is no mail, there is low morale. But all that said, this is our mission. And we will not fail.
The women made history by ensuring service members received letters from their loved ones.
It really kind of brought tears to my eyes to think that she made it under those circumstances.
The sacrifice was worth it because this battalion knew how much the soldiers needed support.
I think she would want everyone to know that they did it for the purpose of making things better.
Donetta says her Aunt Allie served her country with pride and would be shocked that their story made it to the big screens.
I think she would just say, oh my goodness, they're making a movie about us. I just can't believe it.
After the military, Allie had a decades-long career as an educator. She served on her usher board at the church, and she loved taking pictures, which is how a lot of her military documents were preserved. Craig.
It's known as the Pharmacy on the Hill. Westview Pharmacy sits on the corner of 36th Street North and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
I live in the neighborhood, and it's a monumental place to go to for health care and pharmacy needs.
Gary Morton has come here all his life and says it's never a dull moment when he stops by.
This is where to come. See Mr. Bobby. He's a great man.
Chief pharmacist and owner Dr. Bobby Woodard tells me he's been blessed to be in the North Tulsa community for 40 years.
And we're just ecstatic and glad to still be here.
While this started out as Westview Pharmacy, 40 years later, it's now a thriving medical center with pediatric and primary care, counseling services, physical therapy, and more.
You didn't have a reaction to the shot last year, did you?
Bobby says the goal of the pharmacy was to be a one-stop shop for the community because there was and still is a great need for basic health care services in North Tulsa.
It started back in 1984. It was the dream of Dr. Lawrence Reed to have a medical clinic in North Tulsa, and he had the great idea there of getting 6 people together.
Out of those 6 doctors, he is one of 2 remaining.
It's been a labor of love. I love what I do for a living. I wake up every morning enthusiastic and ready to go to work.
Bobby cares about his patients so much that he makes home deliveries to those who can't get out and pick up their prescriptions.
A lot of the patients know me personally, and I just like to go out and interact and visit with them and make sure they're okay and happy with our services.
A happiness that continues a legacy of Black-owned businesses in this community.
This means a lot to everybody that grew up here.
Bobby says he hopes this legacy continues to impact the North Tulsa community for years to come. In Tulsa, MaKayla Glenn, Oklahoma's Own, News on 6.